Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. All right, so it is Thursday, and I said today that I would give you guys the lowdown on what to do to be eligible for the contest that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. In tomorrow morning's video, I am going to be picking 2 lucky winners for the Ledger Nano. So this is all you have to do, okay? In tomorrow morning's video, okay, not the afternoon video, because I plan on doing 2, but in the morning video, in the comment section, all you have to do is write Ledger please. Yeah, that's it, Ledger please, with some contact information. So whether that is your Twitter handle, and I do recommend that you use something like your Twitter handle, but you can put your email address in there if you want. But a Twitter handle is a great thing for me to get in contact with you at the end of the contest. So if you want a chance to win the Ledger Nano, first, I guess you have to be subscribed to Working Money Channel. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. And then in tomorrow's video, not today's video, guys, in tomorrow's video, and I'm going to remind you guys about this again tomorrow, all you have to do is comment Ledger please and some kind of contact information like a Twitter handle or an email address, what have you. And then I'm going to pick 2 lucky subscribers tomorrow morning, Friday, April the 5th. So good luck to everybody who is qualified. Eggrag Crypto here posting this. Guys, this is where we are right now in the cycle. Eggrag Crypto here is thinking he's leaning more towards the optimism point. We have already seen the crypto market really kind of rally. And, we got out of that depression phase, got into hope, relief. And Bitcoin has been doing quite well, but over the last, we'll call it about a month, 2 weeks to about a month, we haven't really seen too much price action for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has just been going up and down and then going up here, not making a new high actually on the short term, coming back down again. However, these are higher lows that are forming. So now all eyes are on how high Bitcoin is going to go next. Of course, we do have to get above this level in order to feel somewhat secure. That is 71,700 per BTC. But at this moment, we're just doing this kind of thing, and the halving is coming around the corner, so I have a feeling that some price action is in the cards very, very soon. So what are you guys feeling? Are you guys feeling optimistic? We certainly have not seen the excitement phase yet, or the thrill, or the euphoria, but guys, that is coming very soon. Another thing I wanted to point out with regard to the Bitcoin chart, and I know some people in the comments section are, I see it, I feel like more and more over the last about a month or so, people are saying, this is not a Bitcoin channel. Why do you keep talking about Bitcoin? What's so important about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin, guys, is the leader of the market. So if you want to get a thumb on the pulse of all cryptocurrency, you have to look at Bitcoin. Even XRP, believe it or not, is going to be influenced by Bitcoin in this spec bull market. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys was this over here. Last time we did reach all-time high. All right, let me bring this back here. Or sorry, maybe not last time we reached all-time high, but last cycle, okay, when we did match the former all-time high from back in December of 2017, right and around here. All right, if you guys can see that, right and around here. Whoops, boom. I'll just put a brush, circle that. This point over here, okay, this was December 2020. You guys see that retracement? You guys see that? We hit it up here. Now let me zoom into that. You guys can see this pattern here. We hit that mark, retraced, came back up, hit it again, retraced again. In a lot of ways, guys, that is what we are seeing now today. So it is not the exact same pattern here, but a very, very similar pattern that I wanted to show you guys. Finding support, really trying to, here, I'll put them side by side. Finding resistance, really trying to get back up above that level there. So we are testing it right now, pre-halving. This is what tends to happen time and time again. The crypto market is still in greed, 72, so above that 50% mark, but not extreme greed. People have backed off quite a bit. Market cap still sitting at $2.5 trillion. That hasn't moved much. 24-hour volume, though, is down. So we aren't seeing too many traders trading cryptocurrencies. Dominance is still sitting at 52%. So the altcoin market really trying to gauge what Bitcoin is doing. And again, this is why I talk about Bitcoin on the channel, guys. I know most of you guys get it. 24 hours, Bitcoin was only at 0.3%. And so, this is really emblematic of where the rest of the cryptocurrency market is right now. We're not seeing a lot of green on the charts. We're seeing, mainly red. Bitcoin Cash, though, is up 10.64%. And so green and red. This is basically a pretty flat day in crypto. And, we're pretty much going to keep, I think this trend is going to keep going on this way until we really see some more action to the upside. So Bitcoin stalling out here, which is good, making a higher low, right? Higher low, getting up above even this level in here. finding some support in this region, but it's only a matter of time before the crypto market does continue to rally alongside Bitcoin, because Bitcoin will rally post-halving. XRP right now also having a hard time getting up there, 57.5 cents for an XRP. So still a great time, I think, to be accumulating some of these cryptocurrencies. If you guys are still trying to get some ideas and you're interested in what I'm trading, I do have all my picks for the $10,000 plus portfolio over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. And updates are coming very, very soon for the Patreon subscribers. Another interesting note here, Bitcoin seems to be mirroring the Nasdaq's price movements very, very closely. To validate this pattern, Bitcoin must swiftly recover above $69,000. So this coming from Ali Charts here. So just take a look at this. Look at what Ali has noticed here. This is Bitcoin side by side with the NASDAQ 100 index. So you can see what happened to the NASDAQ back in the early part of 2024. Same price action here. Same psychology printed on the chart. This is traders' behavior, basically, guys. This is all charts are, by the way. I kind of just want to take a moment to say this. All charts are is psychological behavior. So this is why we tend to see the same kind of patterns, even if they are in different asset classes. So Bitcoin trajectory looking to move up, hopefully. All signs are pointing to that. History does note that Bitcoin is likely going to go up post-halving. And so we're also seeing it on the chart here, the psychological behavior for the trading. We are looking to move up above that former high. The NASDAQ is also showing the same thing here. So wanted to thank Ali Charts just for posting that. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to gold. Bitcoin alert, this one from Digital Asset by retweeting out Versan and Vandal's interview with Andy Schekman. They don't want you to see this. They will have a way to shut it down, or at least get people to get out when the time comes. A bit of a warning, maybe for Bitcoin holders. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, the gold bugs, they have their philosophy of what holds value. Gold, obviously, being on a bit of a tear. This is gold on the 1 hour chart. So here you go, guys. Now I'm talking about gold because it all ties in. Gold did reach a high of about $2,300 per ounce, and even silver is knocking it out of the park too. Let me just look up just real quickly here. Whoops, silver here to US ounce. So silver is also up to $27.34 per ounce. So the narrative is actually quite good. Listen to Andy Schekman's opinion, though, comparing it to Bitcoin.
The goal is to have a central bank digital currency, more control for the banks and more power for them. So if Bitcoin still exists in the future, well, even right now, they are a direct threat to the current system. So I don't see it succeeding and flourishing way down the road in the future. Temporarily, maybe it would hit 100,000, probably a little higher. But long term, that's a direct threat to the system.
See, that I agree, and that's what I was saying.
They won't allow it.
That's what I was saying about Christina Georgieva. I don't think that she wants any competition with anything that they're doing.
Competition, exactly.
Right, that's right. I agree with
so they're going to find a way, whether it's through a shutting down on and off ramps, through taxes, banning it, or even just a cyber attack that was orchestrated to hit the mining areas. I mean, it could be anything, but they will have a way to shut it down, or at least get people out of it when the time comes. Because like you said, it's a competitor and they won't tolerate it. That's not in their plan. It's not part of their agenda.
We're getting to the point where we are running out of the ability to suppress the price because the biggest exchanges in the world are being bled dry by the biggest institutions in the world. For example, China, 7 months in a row has been accumulating gold. 7 months in a row. India, their numbers are up 40% over the last few years as they continue to add gold and silver to their coffers. The Central Bank of Iraq just added 2.5 tons last month. Singapore's numbers are up 35% over the last 3 months. They're the biggest buyer of gold this year in 2023. The first quarter of 2023 saw 228 tons of gold purchased by the central banks. That's the most ever in a quarter, which followed up a year where it was a record, where 1,136 tons were purchased. You put the last year and the first quarter together, it is the most gold that central banks have ever bought over an 18-month period of time. And so you are beginning to see massive amounts of gold and silver be accumulated by the biggest money in the world. And this is something that betrays the price. In other words, the big money is using the suppression of the Western markets, gold and silver prices on COMEX, to drain the exchanges, not only of the COMEX, but of the LBMA. We saw the biggest one-day withdrawal of silver in the history of the Shanghai Gold Exchange 2 weeks ago. So the big money is using this environment and this price suppression to reposition and get ahead of the game before people wake up.
Price suppression, great reset, and they're trying to manipulate the prices in their favor. Now, how does this coincide with Bitcoin? Well, everybody's eyes are on Bitcoin right now, and a bit of a conspiracy that Bitcoin will falter if they decide to flip that switch. So I don't know, are you guys diversified? I personally do hold some precious metals as well. Tell me down in the comments if you guys are diversified into other asset classes. I mean, this financial reset going to reshape the financial framework. Of course, XRP is also definitely a large part, or going to play a large part in that. Anyway, wanted to thank Digital Asset Buy and Versan and Vandal for their ongoing efforts to interview these amazing people here. Another Cathie Wood interview, guys. There are currency devaluations that people are not talking about. So Cathie Wood and her opinion, strong opinions on Bitcoin, why people are buying Bitcoin. And it's not just because of the hype. It's not just retail, guys.
Can you explain, and we were debating it last couple of days about Bitcoin, Joe and Becky, back in New York.
I've heard.
Been together. You've seen it. What do you think is happening? I mean, we saw Bitcoin get up to $70-something thousand, drop down to $66,000. I was making the argument that it has been very tied to the NASDAQ. It's been very tied to the markets. And as a result, it is more likely a function of liquidity and sort of speculation than it is a function of what the Federal Reserve is going to do. Even though the Federal Reserve has sort of been moving the markets, what's your analysis of why it's moved the way it has?
Okay, up dramatically.
Right.
You have the ETFs. There's something else going on around the world. There are currency devaluations taking place that people are not talking about. The Nigerian naira is down 50-60% in the last 9 months. Egypt just devalued by 40%. Argentina continuing to devalue. I think this is a flight to safety, believe it or not, taking place. A hedge against devaluation, a hedge against a loss of purchasing power and wealth. That's very important. And we saw this even here last year in the United States. Regional banks imploded. Right. Bitcoin went up 40%. Bitcoin does not have counterparty risk. I think, and we're putting out a piece in the next few weeks, which is, this is both, get this, a risk on asset. And so you talk about the NASDAQ.
The risk on.
But it is risk off. I remember we got in at $250 when Greece was threatening to leave the euro, right?
But is that folks that are speculating about currency, or is that folks in Nigeria and in Greece and other places saying, I got to get my money out of this currency and move it themselves? Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. I think this is an insurance policy against rogue regimes or against just horrible fiscal and monetary policies.
So two things, a risk on and risk off asset, something that is very tricky to do. And so there are many reasons to be purchasing Bitcoin, not just that make-believe store of value that some proponents tend to criticize. So I wanted to thank Cathie Wood here and Squawkbox just for posting that. Bill Morgan has done a little more analysis on the Ripple SEC lawsuit, this one coming from Michael Branch. And what he's saying is that the ongoing legal battle between Ripple and the SEC has taken a new turn. Bill Morgan has now criticized the SEC's handling of the case. In a recent social media post, Bill Morgan accused the SEC of harboring animosity towards Ripple, alleging unfair treatment and an abuse of power. So Bill has now come out and said this, okay, the crux of Morgan's argument lies in the disparity between the SEC's claims against Ripple and its handling of similar cases involving other crypto projects. So comparing the Ripple SEC case with other projects, he highlighted the SEC's demand for exorbitant remedies in the Ripple case, far exceeding typical enforcement actions against unregistered sales. Moreover, Morgan pointed out the discrepancy in the SEC's approach, citing instances where the regulatory body imposed significantly lower remedies on other crypto projects accused of similar violations. He argued that such tactics amount to an abuse of power and underscored the SEC's alleged bias against Ripple. And so you guys can see it over here. Okay, the Kick Interactive case, unregistered sales amounted to $100 million. And the remedies were $5 million. With regards to the Telegram group, we've got $1.7 billion. Remedies were $1.242 billion. Library was only $11 million, and they only paid $111,000. Then we got Thor Technologies, $2.6 million for unregistered sales, and the remedies were only about $1 million. And then the Kraken suit, $147 million. They paid only $30 million. But guys, look at the discrepancy here. Look at what the SEC wants in comparison to what Ripple did. $728.9 million in unregistered sales. Meanwhile, they want $1.9 billion. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. So I guess we're going to see how this all shakes out. We've all been following this case very, very closely. But, to see it in a visual like this, I think, Bill Morgan has really hit the nail on the head there. To even just assume that remedies are going to outweigh the unregistered sales by this much. Because, you look at these other figures here, remedies are way lower than what the actual figures were with the exception of the Ripple case. So obviously going to keep an eye on that. Thanks to Michael Branch and, of course, Bill Morgan for letting us in on that. Now, I also happen to see this, guys, from Ian Binns. Binance has announced a global suspension of XRP withdrawals. I'm always suspect when I see an article from this news outlet, thecryptoalert.com. So I'm reading this and I'm realizing, I don't know if I believe it. Binance, one of the leading cryptocurrency exchanges, has made headlines by announcing a global suspension of XRP withdrawals. This move comes in response to a reported price glitch on the exchange, leaving many investors puzzled and seeking answers. So again, guys, just beware of where you're getting your information from. I noticed down here, somebody was just talking about this. Some people are already saying, no, there's no problem at all. Bianco Christian saying, no problem at all, actually. I have just done it. XRP Binance to BITRUE, all is okay. L-Train down here saying this is fake. And other people giving their opinions like Uphold is the way to go. OJ Gary Grove saying he's bullish. Connor Heffy saying fake news, take it down. So Crypto Alert, I know time and time again I've been I've been caught reading this news outlet here, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys know to just be careful where you get your information from. I know this could perhaps scare some people. Obviously, if you do have cryptocurrency on a particular exchange and you realize, okay, whoa, I have a lot of cryptocurrency on that exchange, and then you see a headline like this, it could get a little worrisome. So always be safe, guys. Keep your cryptocurrency safe on a Ledger Nano or something else. And so, yeah, going to reiterate, going to be doing the giveaway tomorrow. So please do subscribe to the channel. Conversely, if you guys just want to purchase a Ledger Nano to keep your crypto safe, I do have an affiliate link in the description of every video I do. You can use my link if you want. You don't have to use it. I just put it there for ease of use in case you guys are looking for a crypto cold wallet storage solution. Moving along, though, we are getting near the end of the lawsuit. I don't think the SEC is going to recoup this kind of cash. And Oliver Michel over there in Germany, he recently made another appearance on German television. He discusses the Ripple lawsuit versus the SEC on the German Frankfurt exchange. And here is a quote from his, from the translation here, courtesy of XRP Drops. Ripple is at the end of the path where others are at the beginning. I'm going to go over this. It is almost 4 minutes long, but I'm going to try to translate for you guys on the fly. Ripple is on the home stretch indicated in December of 2020. Judge Torres has pronounced the verdict that has violated Ripple institutional sales as part of the institutional sales to several hundred institutions. So the demand for Ripple coins was already very high. Okay, guys, I'm just going to pause it there for a second. The demand for the coins was already very high. Please keep that in mind. So very high from institutional buyers, and took in $700 million US. That was an illegal security sale, and they have to pay for it, to put it bluntly. And the SEC has now demanded a fine of $2 billion US, as we've just recently discussed. Well, of course, everyone said God's will. Yes. How did they get $2 billion? That would be it. One of the biggest punishments ever imposed. Probably the biggest is actually beyond good and evil. And there are actually two interesting opinions about that I would like to pass on here. Ripple has to pay, no question. Met a lawman here said to ourselves last week that it was quite interesting. He's a lawyer who always gives good opinions on this. He said in an interview that Ripple repeatedly spoken about in the event of the violation, there must also be victims, and most of these institutions have received the XRP coin at a discount, which means you can assume that he is of the opinion, he is of the institutions, has somehow been violated, and this damage theory that the SEC has now formulated in the indictment. Did it say that? In the indictment is no way terrible. That is, you can assume that Ripple has to pay a penalty, but this is far away from that. And that is what I think now. Actually, the funniest part of the whole story came when Molly Elmore also did an interview. She's an analyst who is very well known, analyst in the blockchain scene, and she said the following, okay? The formulated pay to play, okay, pay to play, this is what this means. To take part in a story, you have to buy in, and that's actually common in the US financial scene. If you want to play a role there, you just have to, just said Ripple wants to play a role with this product, especially in the financial system. So you have to buy in, and that is what Ripple is basically meant to do. It hasn't mean, whoops. Okay, so it would have been the payment to the Stock Exchange Supervisory Authority, which is why it is assumed that if Ripple is actually not a penalty payment, but a pay-to-play payment, and that it will probably not be made in US dollars, but in coins, because we know, yes, that Ripple has a lot of XRP coins via the escrow, and then you can imagine that they will be transferred to this demand. The SEC right now has the opportunity to respond within 4 weeks. Then the SEC can take a position again, and then speak to the judge's law is similar to Sam Bankman-Fried, one demands something, the other says I'm not ready, and at some point the judge says that that's what we're doing now. In the meantime, more and more so-called settlement rumors are emerging, i.e. rumors that at the time, if you could actually come to an agreement, then it would certainly be the case, and that would be a really great story for all Ripplers if within the next 2, 3, 4 months, guys, this whole story would be settled here. There would be legal certainty, and that would, of course, massively impact the entire Ripple XRP business. So we're on the home stretch here, and Ripple is at the end of a path where others are right at the beginning. So could be massive, guys. 2, 3, 4 months. We said this back in 2021 that Ripple was the first at that point in time to be on the track for regulatory clarity. How this is going to play out in the crypto market, it is still anybody's guess. But over there at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, they're estimating 2, 3, 4 months. We could see a big explosion for XRP price, perhaps because of this clarity once the suit is settled once and for all. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel. You could win a Ledger Nano tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.